Hi there, Tim Bauer here from LiveVideoGuitarLessons.com, the practice tip of the day. This one is for the intermediate player. Today I want to talk a little bit about chord theory. Just the basics. There are a lot of different voicings for chords on your guitar, and if you understand how they work, you can look at the name of the chord, and a lot of music doesn't have the chord chart on there, it just tells you the name of the chord, and you have to figure out how to play it on your own. The name of the chord tells you how to play the chord, you just have to know how to decode what's going on there. Alright, so let's start with the basics. Your major chords are all 1, 3, and 5 of the major scale of your root note. So if you're playing a C chord, all you're playing is the first note of C major scale, the third note, and the fifth note. So in the key of C, those are all C's, Z's, and G's. So when you're playing a C chord, these are all C's, Z's, and G's. And so we have any combination of C, E, and G is a C chord. So that's why you have it here, you can have it here, you can have it here, 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 you can be over here. There are a whole bunch of places to play all these chords all over your guitar, and you need to know how to do this so you can figure out which is the correct voicing for what you're doing. Okay, so minor chord. Minor chords, instead of 1, 3, 5, are 1 flat 3 and 5. So if I want to play an A minor chord, for instance, my first is A, my flatted third, my regular third would be a C sharp. I'm going to flatten that down to a C, and my fifth is an E. So we have 1 flat 3 and 5, A, C, and E. So any combination of A, C, and E gives me A minor. Okay, so let's talk about the sevenths for a second. If every other number you see on a chord is a specific note. The sevenths are different, however. There are two types of seventh chords. There's a major seventh chord, which uses the actual seventh note of a major scale, and there's a dominant seventh chord, which uses the flatted seventh. And when you see a dominant seventh chord, it doesn't say dominant seventh; it just says 7. So if like a C7 chord, it uses the flatted seventh note. That's the dominant seventh chord. Flatted seventh note of a C scale is B flat, so you get that. The major 7 is the actual seventh note, and that uses a B instead of a B flat. So that's kind of the soft, 70s rock kind of sound. And that's with my B note. That's my C major 7 chord versus the kind of bluesy, kind of rockish, a little harsher, dominant seventh chord. So that uses my B flat here. So, alright, so let's talk about the other numbers. And I'm only going to deal, I don't want the video to get too long, I'm going to deal with numbers below 7. You're going to see, I'm going to deal with the extended chords with, 9s, 11s, and 13s in an upcoming video. But I don't want the video to get so long. Alright, so let's talk about seconds, fourths, and sixths. So if you see a C6 chord, that one's simple. You put in you're playing your C chord, 1, 3, and 5, and you're just adding the sixth note of a C scale to it. So if I'm playing my C and count up to the C scale, you'll notice that the sixth note is A. So I just add an A note to my C chord, and that's C6. Okay, so seconds. We have a couple of different kinds of seconds and a couple of different kinds of fourths. Alright, so usually you see C sus2 or C sus4. What sus means, sus is short for suspended. And what that means is you're replacing the third note of that chord triad with whatever number follows it. So if you're doing a C sus2, instead of playing 1, 3, and 5, C, E, and G, you're playing 1, 2, and 5. You're not playing the third anymore. You're not playing any E notes. And so you're playing a C note and a D note and the G note. And that's C sus2. C sus4 is going the other way. Instead of playing the E, you're playing the next note in the scale, and that's F. So you're playing C notes, F notes, and G notes. If you see a C add 4, that means you're still playing the third. Or C add 2, you're still playing the third. So you're playing, for C add 4, you're playing 1, 3, 5, the C, E, and G, and then you're putting an F note in there somewhere else, so that you're not replacing the third, you're playing it in addition to. Let me see. So, if you see a chord with a plus sign on it, that stands for augmented. What that means is you're sharpening or sharping the fifth. So for my C augmented chord, instead of 1, 3, 5, I'm playing 1, 3, and sharp 5. So that would be a C, E, and G sharp. You have, if you see a minus sign on something, and by the way, sometimes it says augmented, but a lot of times the shorthand is plus. C augmented chord is just C plus. That's all it says most of the time. If you see a minus sign on something, that stands for flat. So, like for C minor 7 flat 5, you play your C minor 7 chord, and that would include the flat 5 would be playing a G flat in there instead of the G. Okay, I think that'll do it. I'm going to cover the extended chords in the next video because I can see I'm running a little long here. And so tune in for that one. I'll cover diminished chords in that one as well. There's a couple of different things I want to talk about with the diminished chords. But that's the basics. That'll get you through most of it. So anyway, hopefully this helps, and stay tuned for the follow-up video, and just kind of keep an eye on the website for that, www.LiveVideoGuitarLessons.com, and I will see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.